Samantha Parkington leaned over the porch railing and looked out over the broad lawn toward the road, listening for the heavy clip-clop of the milkman's horse, a big dapple gray named Cloudy. Samantha had saved her apple core for Cloudy. She loved the tickly feeling of the gentle horse taking the apple from her hand. But so far the road was quiet and empty, except for two young men whizzing by on bicycles. Their bicycles looked so tall and spindly, it was hard to believe they could hold the weight of a rider. Ridiculous contraptions, Grandmary called them. Samantha knew her grandmother thought bicycles were dangerous, and she couldn't imagine riding one herself. Even if she could, she was sure Grandmary would say that bicycle riding wasn't ladylike. Just then, at the big yellow house across the yard, a side door opened and a girl appeared. She was dressed in a gray servant's uniform and carried an enormous wicker basket of laundry. Why, she doesn't look any older than I am, thought Samantha, who was 9. I wonder who she is. Samantha heard a clinking noise by the kitchen door. Mrs. Hawkins, Grandmary's cook, stepped outside carrying a basket of empty milk bottles. She set them down for the milkman to collect. "What are you doing out here so early this morning, Miss Samantha?" asked Mrs. Hawkins. "I'm waiting for Cloudy so I can feed him my apple core," said Samantha. "But look, Mrs. Hawkins, there's a new girl working next door. She seems awfully small to carry such a big basket by herself." "I'm sure she's accustomed to hard work," Mrs. Hawkins replied. "Not every child is as fortunate as you, Miss Samantha." Mrs. Hawkins went back into the kitchen. Samantha sighed. Sometimes she couldn't help feeling lonely. She loved her grandmother very much, but it wasn't the same as having a mother and father or brothers and sisters. Next door, the girl had begun hanging the laundry on long clotheslines. The heavy, wet sheets were much larger than she was, and she had to keep the sheets from touching the ground as she stood on a stool and clipped each sheet corner onto a clothesline with wooden pegs. Samantha hopped off the porch and crossed the yard to where the girl was working. "May I help?" she asked, picking up a sheet. "It will be easier with 2. "Oh, no, miss. I can do it myself," the girl said quickly. "You mustn't trouble yourself." "It's no trouble," said Samantha. "I'm just waiting for the milkman, so I might as well help you while I wait. My name is Samantha Parkington," she added, remembering her manners. "Please, what's yours?" "I'm Nellie O'Malley, miss," the girl said shyly, bobbing in a quick curtsy. "It's very nice to meet you, Nellie," said Samantha. "When did you begin working here?" 2 days ago," said Nellie. "I used to live in the city with my family. I was working in a thread factory, but the bad air made me cough, so my parents sent me here to work instead." "You had to leave your family?" Samantha asked in disbelief. Imagine leaving your family, if you were lucky enough to have one. "Yes, miss, but things are better for me here," said Nellie. "The air is clean, and I'm not coughing anymore. There's more food to eat here, too, and I can even go to school." She reached for a pillowcase and shook out the wrinkles. "But I do miss my family," she added. "Well, I'm glad you're here," said Samantha. "My parents died when I was 5, so I live with Grandmary. That's my grandmother. And I have an uncle who lives in the city." Her eyes lit up. "Say, I've just had the most wonderful idea, Nellie. The next time we go to the city to visit my uncle, you could come with us and visit your family." Nellie shook her head. "Oh, thank you, but no, miss. I don't think I'd be permitted to." Suddenly, Nellie went silent, and Samantha felt a hand gripping her shoulder. "Sakes alive, Miss Samantha, I've been looking all over for you." It was Elsa, Grandmary's maid, who loved to scold. "Your grandmother wants you. She won't be pleased to know that you've been hobnobbing with servant girls." Elsa jabbed a finger at Nellie. "You there, stick to your work and stop bothering Miss Samantha," she ordered, putting her hand against Samantha's back and steering her toward the house. Samantha quickly tossed her apple core into the bushes and gave Nellie a sorry look. Elsa led Samantha into the parlor, where Grandmary was sitting in a high-backed chair. "Begging your pardon, ma'am, here is Miss Samantha," said Elsa. I found her next door, hanging laundry with the new servant girl. That will be all, Elsa, said Grandmary. The maid nodded briskly, turned on her heel, and left the parlor.